gospelstation.com, sports and talk. We are at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice down here in Oklahoma City, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, right next door to Red River Credit, who our show today is presented by. Thanks so much to Red River Credit. Same address, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, but they're in Suite A. And literally right next door, like on the other side of the arcade here, is Red River Credit. They're great sponsors of ours as well, great partners for our business. But, hey, welcome back. So if you were with us yesterday, and obviously we had the Integrity Show in the afternoon, then we had the Bethany High School basketball games a little bit after that, later that night. Although the women's lost, the men's won. It ended up being a very, very good match. We were super happy with the level of competition that both teams had in that game, and it was the Woodward Boomers coming into town, taking on the Bethany Broncos there. And although, again, women's did lose, they lost by about 8. Men's won by 35. So that's pretty good. That was a pretty good game for the men's at least. But we've got more home games this week. Tomorrow we face off, and if I'm not mistaken, it will be Southwest Covenant from out of Yukon. The Patriots are coming to town. This will be the first time I think I've ever watched the Southwest Covenant game, so I'm eager to see what they bring to the table. And then Friday on the back-to-back, we get on the road. We're going to Harding Charter Preparatory Academy. That will be, the times have changed, by the way. That will be at 3 and 5:30, if I'm not mistaken. It's 3 and 5:30 or 3:30 and 5:30. I should probably know that for sure here. 3:30 and 5. There you go. There you go. There's your official time. Moved up to get out of the way of the OU game and miss all that traffic, of course. So, well, you know, we're very appreciative of that. But thanks some more to Raspados. Okay, so we've been here before for our shows. It's always a great time coming back here. Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice. Shaved Ice always in season. Doesn't matter if it's June or September or December or May or April or whatever. I mean, Hawaiian Shaved Ice pretty much always going to be fitting for whatever time of year it is. And Raspados today has been jumping a little bit. Most of the people actually came through right before I started going live here. There are at least 3 different families, all with little children coming through here, getting their stuff playing in the arcade. They had a pretty nice turnout here at the end of the day. And it is officially past 4 o'clock p.m. here. We're going from 4 to 5 on this episode of the Game Plan. And this will be on our YouTube page as well, GSN Sports and Talk, as well as our Facebook, Gospel Station Sports and Talk there as well. We invite you to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss both a video upload, a live video, or a live athletic event for Bethany High School. And we know you don't want to miss those. But as we start off this show, I think obviously naturally the first thing we got to talk about is the high school sports. So 59-52 was actually a 7-point loss for the Lady Broncos, I believe. And they are now 4-2 on the season. You'll have to excuse me for a second. I'm still getting my thoughts in order here. 59-52, 7-point loss. Cameron Gear had 29 points, including 20 from the field, 3 from beyond the arc, and the final 6 from the free throw line. Allie Lynn had 11. She had 4 of those from the field, 1 of those from beyond the arc, and the rest of hers were from the free throw line. But no one else on the Broncos lineup actually surpassed double-digit scoring. They had Madison McNutt with 6, Donnelly with 4, and Bibbs with 2. And that was actually it for the scoring. So even you see right there, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on the Bethany lineup that was given to us last night didn't find a way to get a bucket on the board. And as good as Cameron Gear was in that game, working in the paint, it just wasn't enough to overcome the Woodward Boomers, who, to their credit, had a very, very potent offense that they ran through players like number 12 Howard, number 13 Floyd, number 23 Nelson. They put together some pretty good offensive possessions. When they got their own 3-ball going, it was going. I could see how Woodward has put the pressure on so many people this year. Their record betrayed them, for sure. I don't want to say we overlooked them, but John Hickman, my co-broadcaster last night, mentioned it as well. We kind of did end up overlooking Woodward a little bit. I think we did kind of assume that Bethany was going to take care of business at home off of this big tournament win. Woodward was only 1-4 coming into that game. That was only their second win on the season, but you have to look at the teams they've played. So Woodward has gone to start off their season and played pretty much some of the best teams in the state. And I'll do my best to pull their record up for you real quick, but I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to be able to get that, to be honest. But the Woodward Boomers, obviously, tournament they played in was down in Chickasha, if I remember correctly. And that Chickasha tournament brought out some powerhouses. So I'm pulling up their record right now to make sure I've got the right names for you here as soon as my website updates. By the way, go to the OSSARankings.com website anytime you're looking for schedules, records, anything like that. It's super helpful. Super helpful. All right, here you go. So 2-5 officially. They lost to Elk City, who is number 14 in Class 4A right now. Then they lost to Weatherford, who's number 17 in Class 4A right now. And then they lost to Anadarko. Okay, they're number 9 in Class 3A. They're really good. Then they lost to Riverside, who's number 8 in 2A, before coming back with a win versus Cassidy, another loss versus Weatherford, who has got them twice, and their win over us. And we were ranked number 8 in 4A. But right there you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of their first 7 matches in the season were against ranked opponents. There are not many teams going out there and doing that, but that's the schedule Woodward has put together. And honestly, I very much do respect that kind of approach to the start of the season. We heard in the coaches show from head coach Eric Saylor of the Bethany Broncos that their approach to these early season tournaments were to get games against more 4A opponents, people you might see later on in the season, but then again, people you might see out of district. But it's all about getting the votes, getting the 4A points. Woodward saw that and took on Elk City, took on Weatherford, took on us. But they also went for the ranked opponents on the different classes. Again, Anadarko and Riverside, both top 10 in 3A and 2A respectively. Woodward comes back after their win against us, and they take on Cash in another 4A matchup. They've got a upcoming tournament next year. I can't believe I get to say that, but next January they have the Chisholm tournament. And the rest of their schedule, we'll see Weatherford again. They'll see Elk City again. They'll see Kingfisher. There's no lack of ranked opponents on the Woodward Boomers schedule. And if they can flip the script on a team like Weatherford, if they can get revenge on a team like Elk City, we could see the Woodward Boomers ranked here very, very shortly. Because they did come out and kind of stun Bethany. They hit them in the mouth. It's just the real reality of it. They held the supporting cast for the Broncos to very poor shooting from the night. And I don't have the exact, field goal or three-point percentages with me, but I can say when only 5 players are able to find any kind of points and only 2 of them are able to get past double digits, that's not great. Turnovers, ball handling, rebounds, those are always the major themes for the Bethany Lady Broncos. And we kind of saw it last night where the rebound was kind of lacking in some parts. I thought they actually did a pretty decent job of taking care of the ball, but the possessions didn't come with enough points, right? There were a few times where they were able to get the ball up the floor, but then they throw it away on the other end. Or then the shot wouldn't fall, defensive rebound, they have no chance to get it back. Or it's going up there. There were a couple offensive fouls, a couple calls here and there. And it just, it somehow always got away from Bethany, especially there in that second half, fourth quarter. They made their run back. They made the attempt. Got to give the credit to the Broncos. They did make the attempt to come back, but just the way that game went, Woodward had pulled too far away, and they were playing too consistent offensively. Again, shout out to Cameron Gear, though, 29 points. That is a very large number. At the end of the first, I believe she had 16. She was on pace to get 30-plus, just missed it by 1 free throw. She actually went 6 for 8 on attempts from the line. Very, very close to a perfect shooting percentage from the line, which was a big part of her game. Able to be in the paint, able to draw contact, get foul calls, head to the lines, and put points up on the board when the clock is stopped, right? It's always a big part of a post player's game, and Cameron Regier has gotten very, very good at that. Looking throughout the lineup, we mentioned Allie Lynn, we mentioned McNutt. Madison McNutt knocked down some pretty big three-pointers herself. Didn't get all of them she took, but I believe she ended up 1 for 2 or 1 for 3. No, I think that's wrong. I think she ended up – actually, that might be right. She also had a field goal and also – okay, so I was right. She ended up 1 for 2 or 1 for 3. Took some open looks, just couldn't get them to land. And, sometimes that's basketball. The shots don't fall. But we saw a little bit of hesitation from Reese Harris. We saw a little bit of hesitation from Von Feld, who Von Feld is not normally their go-to offensive player, but when you have the looks, Calderon as well, when you have the looks to put up a shot, there were just sometimes I thought they were a little bit too passive, a little bit too eager to pass the ball, not take the shot, not try to knock something down. And that kind of aggressiveness on the offensive is something they're still working out. They're still finding, are we always going to feed it to Regier inside? Are we always going to get it to the established shooters, Lynn, McNutt? Or can some of these other players that take the floor that aren't the primary offensive threats pull up and take the shot when they have one open? Questions we're going to find out later this week, I'd imagine, versus Southwest Covenant and versus Harding Charter Prep. So tune in on GSN Sports and Talk for those. We invite you to, again, subscribe so you don't miss one of our games. We will be live tomorrow just before 6:30 for a little bit of a pregame show. This is our second home game, and we will have an away game on the road. Again, that is 3:30 on Friday, so do tune in. When we come back after break, we're going to talk about the men's basketball game, and I'm going to kind of wrap up there, give you my thoughts on the men's side, and because I think the men's basketball team at Bethany kind of just showed what this team is capable of later on in the season. I think they kind of just got, I won't call it a signature win, not this early in the season, but I think they have displayed the ability to get a signature win against a top school when they do meet them later on. So, again, a lot of fun things to consider, and I'm going all over that in segment number 2. This is the game plan here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're live from Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. This episode of the game plan is presented by Red River Credit next door, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. And you can hear their commercials during this break to get a little bit more information from them. Thanks so much to these businesses for letting us come by and do our shows. It's always a great time. But we're back after this in about 3 minutes with segment number 2. Come visit us at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. We're open year-round, 7 days a week, so come try our delicious crepes, smoothies, and churros. Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, 405-225-1000. We also serve burgers, tacos, and more. 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. Also on Facebook, Raspados OKC. That's Raspados OKC, 405-225-1000. Looking for fast cash without the hassle? At Red River Credit in Oklahoma City, they've got you covered. They offer auto-secured loans up to $3,660, and the best part, no credit check. Need something different? They also provide traditional installment signature loans with a credit check. Whether you need quick cash or a long-term solution, they're here to help. Enjoy cash-friendly service with easy access online at redrivercredit.com. You can apply in person at 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City. Call 405-440-0582.
Are you looking for some hair, some virgin hair, some extensions? Well, come to Alchemy Ming Virgin Hair and Boutique. We have moved to 10709 North Rockwell Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Suite D. Come and see all the styles from your best hairstylist, your favorite hairstylist, the award-winning hairstylist of the year, Jasmine J.G. Garrett Whitten.
Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's does. Come by Zaxby's Chicken Fingers and Buffalo Wings at 5859 Northwest Expressway and find out why Zaxby's is Oklahoma's go-to for great chicken meals. Zaxby's has the chicken fingers, the sandwiches, the wings, and the sauce that will leave your mouth watering. Now with the all-new lemon pepper line of meals. Late Night Zax introduces the Zappetizer Trio and keeps the drive-thru open after 8 p.m. So use the Zaxby's app to earn rewards and remember that Zaxby's will cater your event. Head to 5859 Northwest Expressway or call 405-603-8190 to make your Zaxby's order now. 405-603-8190. Zaxby's.
From Yonkers, New York to Bethany, using his talent for others and opening Angelo's Italian Deli at 6639 Northwest 36th in Bethany, this genuine Italian flavor is home. Angelo's Italian Deli features the hot bar for lunch, the deli station with sandwiches and pizza. Enjoy our coffee shop and bakery. Experience the atmosphere. Angelo's Italian Deli caters any event. Call 405-384-0637. Open Monday through Friday 7 to 6 and Saturdays 7 to 2. Angelo's Italian Deli in Bethany.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned full-service licensed and bonded plumbing company proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
And that brings us back out of break. Hey, sorry for blowing your ears out on that one. That got me to jump. That was so loud. I should probably unmute here. That got me to jump. That was so loud. But we're back on segment number 2 here of the game plan on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. This is at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice down here in Oklahoma City, presented by Red River Credit just next door, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street for both of them. But Red River Credit is in Suite A just to my left. So Red River Credit, obviously home loans, auto loans, personal loans, that sort of thing. You heard their commercial. They're cash friendly. They have a lot of different financing options, and there are great people over there that are eager to help you. Super friendly, super knowledgeable, and we can't speak highly enough of them. Same thing here at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, though. Talk about friendly, helpful, enjoyable people. That's the staff Raspados Shaved Ice has put together here. They're taking orders in the back right now. You can see them on the video broadcast, but it's a variety of items on the menus. It's a wide menu: shaved ice, tacos, burgers, desserts, meals, whatever you want, drinks. They've got it. And I've actually had some of the items off the menu here before, including the trying to look up there. I forget what it's called. I know, super professional. I know. Oh, yeah, I had the crepe. That's right. That's what I had. I remember now. I had the crepe, and it was very good, so that has my personal guarantee. But thanks again to Raspados Hawaiian and Red River Credit just next door for letting us come by and do the show. But here on segment number 2, let's talk about the men's game we just got over with. So the men's versus the Woodward Boomers, 85-50 the final. 35-point victory for the guys, and they were matched up with some giants on the Boomer side. Number 20, Caden Grains, a 6'8 sophomore, took the floor against them. They had number 24, Gage Hutchins, who played really well. Number 4, Cole Reed, who's 6'2 junior, who had some absolute handles. The kid had some crazy athleticism. But Bethany took that challenge, rose up to it, and surpassed the Boomers today. Now, personally, I thought Woodward could have been more efficient with their shooting, and I think that ended up being the case in their stat line. Just missed shots, missed opportunities, but Bethany didn't quite have that problem. So it was kind of a different story between the men's and the women's game. The men's game saw 7 players on their lineup find a way to put points on the board, with only 8 players that didn't. That's much more to a 50-50 split, pretty even between starters and bench players. Seth Griner had 14 points on the night. He was one of the highlights of the game, but can't talk about highlights without talking about Breck Brady, Connor Sidness, and Denton Jaggers. Jaggers in that night was much more of a facilitator, much more concerned with ball movement. And he was, I wonder what his assist numbers were by the end of the night. I wish I could tell you, but his assist numbers must have climbed through the roof. But Seth Griner, perfect from beyond the arc. He was a perfect 3 for 3, and he had 2 shots made from the field along with 1 free throw, I believe, to rack up 14 on the night. Breck Brady, 10 in the first, ended up being nearly, actually I think it was at exactly 20 by the end of the night. So Breck Brady with a 20 spot there. And Connor Sidness enters the game. And man, I can't speak enough about Connor Sidness in that one. He enters the game off the bench, just steps on, and then just starts hitting shots left and right. No issue at all. And he's making some wild athletic plays in the paint, in the post, getting balls in off the glass. Lights out, dude. He had the place rocking, as did, of course, number 13, Rhett Brobson. So Brobson, also a bench player, He finished the night with, I believe, 2 made three-pointers and 1 shot made from the field. He also just kind of walked onto the court and hit threes because he could. And that was the difference in the night, in my opinion, between these two teams. Between Woodward and Bethany is Woodward relied, in my opinion, over-relied on Grains to make their offense work. They had great playmakers in Grains, sure, but they also had Cole Reed, who was very clearly that really, really talented number 2, but I don't think they got Graff. I don't think they got Graff involved enough. I don't think they got Roach involved enough. They had number 2, Aaron Laredo, on the floor at multiple points in the night. I don't think he got involved enough. When you've got, the term is unicorn, like Caden Grains is, obviously 6'8" sophomore, super talented at basketball, very high IQ. You want, as John Hickman said, not to stunt his growth, not to get in the way of who he is as a player. But personally, I think he could have been better used down low. He was up high shooting threes at a high mark that night. And although he knocked down a lot of them, don't get me wrong, there were as many, if not more, possessions that were bring the ball up the floor, Grains has it, chuck a three in the face of somebody, possession ends, no points on the board. I think Woodward went to that style of offense too much. When it works, it's unstoppable. Just look at some of the teams in the NBA from the past few years. I think Golden State shooting threes. I think the Celtics shooting threes in their championship year. When you can hit the three ball at that rate, it's unstoppable. Woodward couldn't do it. And that's why this game ended up being a 35-point win. Because I think Bethany tempered the three-point shooting with extremely consistent defense and extremely consistent play from the paint. Evidenced by Brady, evidenced by Sidness, evidenced by Jaggers and his ability to move the ball around, facilitate the offense, get everybody involved. Bethany had, in conclusion, a more complete team game than Woodward did, and that's why the Broncos won. Looking at the rankings as of 2 days ago, on the 15th, Douglas sits atop Class 4A with a 7-1 record. Cassia Hall right behind them is 7-1. Bethany currently sits at number 13, but with a 5-2 record and a good win over Woodward. I imagine we're going to climb. How much, I'm not sure. Mount St. Mary should fall below us, in my opinion, with a 5-3 record now, and we have the head-to-head victory over them. But again, I'm not entirely sure how the points work. Mount St. Mary did go up against some ranked opponents in 6A, so they do have that going for them. They even got a win over Edmond Memorial, who was number 14 in 6A. So we'll kind of see how that works out. I'm not really sure. You know, class, district points, it's all a whole big thing that I don't have a say in. So we'll see how it ends up. Bethany may very well stay middle of the pack after this win. But we've got this Southwest Covenant. Okay, they're number 5 in Class A. Harding Charters here unranked at number 4. And then when we get started in January again on the 6th, it's current number 7 in 4A Blanchard. So Bethany does have some ranked opponents coming up and a chance to really climb that Class 4A ranking here. Still very early on in this season, but past the first tournament. Looking at Bethany's schedule, our final game is February 13th. That's regular season against Ardmore. So we'll be halfway done with the season about when we start the Holbert tournament on January 8th. So once we're past that first Blanchard game of the year and getting out to Holbert, that's about the halfway point of the season. After that, you'll see Tuttle, you'll see Harding Fine Arts, you'll see Clinton and Elk City and Cache and Anadarko and all these teams we've talked about before on the women's side, this time on the men's side as well. Weatherford is currently number 6 in Class 4A. Ardmore is number 16. I already talked about Blanchard, but Anadarko number 17 in Class 3A on the men's side. Bethany Broncos on the men's side do have some ranked opponents coming up, and we talked about it on our broadcast on GSN Sports and Talk. John Hickman did especially. There are a lot of question marks surrounding both of these teams, but especially the men's team, with first-year head coach Josh Holliday at the helm, losing so many starters, really only bringing back Denton Jaggers, who played considerable minutes last year. And it seems to me like they've put together a winning basketball team. I'm very high on this men's team right now. I think the future is bright for this squad of guys. They've just got to go out and take it. 85-50 that's a pretty good sign of that, I think. That's a pretty good sign. Now, I'm not here to make any predictions about the upcoming schedule. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what the score is going to be from the rest of the games this weekend, but I will say I think things bode well for the men's Broncos basketball team. All right, well, we're coming up on the end of segment number 2. We got maybe 2 minutes left. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some probably college, probably pro. I've got some news breaking about some different transfers, some different moves, some different free agency stuff, so we'll get into all of that. But before I go, it was announced earlier today that Harding Charter has gone completely cashless. So if you're listening to this show online, Harding Charter Prep has gone cashless and uses the online GoFan platform for the selling and purchasing of all tickets. So go to the Bethany Broncos Activities and Athletics Facebook page. They posted about it. There's a link included that you can go on to buy your ticket. But remember, if you do show up, they are cashless. So keep that in mind. Be prepared for that. Other than that, I don't think there's anything left here. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll start talking about some college and some other stuff. Don't go anywhere. It's the Game Plan presented by Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice and Red River Credit. 4571 Northwest 23rd Street for Raspados. 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, Suite A for Red River Credit. Back after this.
When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Let's all really listen to what politicians say. Does it make sense? For instance, raising tax rates on large corporations. Sounds good. Then we remember, corporations do not pay taxes. They pass tax costs through to their customers. That means a corporate tax increase is a tax increase for everyone who does business with a corporation. That's a tax increase to every one of us. Dwayne McAnally, McAnally Foundation.
Come see us down at Smoothie King. We have 2 amazing locations to serve you. 5914 Southeast 15th Street in Midwest City and 5921 Southwest 3rd Street, located right in the heart of Oklahoma City. Folks, we have the awesome Dude Perfect smoothie. We have wonderful enhancements to get you ready for your workout. Rule the day. Smoothie King is your one-stop shop for delicious smoothie action. Come see us at Smoothie King.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Riley, owner here at Victory Mattress Outlet, and my job is to help individuals get a quality night's sleep on our name brand mattresses for prices they can't afford. I have a great offer for you right now. If you go to this website, victorymattressoutlet.com/win, WIN, fill that form out, and you got a free coupon for a buy one mattress, get one 50% off. We look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.
Stephanie's Vintique and the Plaster Paint Company is all Oklahoma made at 3821 Asbury in Bethany, featuring vintage, chalk paint, antiques, clothing, vegan soaps and lotion, homemade cards, decor, and furniture. And space is available for rent to start your own business at Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company. Call 405-249-3604 and see why people are coming from all over the metro for this paint and decor. Or you can visit us at theplasterpaintcompany.com and also see us on Facebook. Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company in Bethany. Start your Vintique experience.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and it's solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
And we welcome you back from break here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. So just rounded out the first half of our show, now on to half number 2. We're live from Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. This show is presented to you by Red River Credit, just next door, Suite A, at the same address, 4571 Northwest 23rd. Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice, obviously great food. You can follow them on TikTok. They are also tagged on our Facebook Live post. Red River Credit not tagged on our Facebook Live post. I'm not sure if they have a Facebook, to be honest, but I believe you can go to redrivercredit.com and browse their website to find out more about their services and the people that work there. But again, follow Raspados Hawaiian on TikTok. You can see some of the stuff they post there, things like menu items, maybe events they've got going on, and feel free to leave them a review, a 5-star review, That's good stuff here. And we're happy to be back. Obviously, you can see a little bit on the video of the dine-in area right here. People have been coming in and out throughout the entire show, grabbing their orders. There is an arcade next to us with all the classic arcade games, hoops and air hockey and crane machines and the punching bag and all of it. It's great. It's real. It's exactly the vibe I love to see from like arcades and restaurants like this. So I'm loving it. Brings back memories of being a kid back in Texas. Enough about that. Thanks again to Raspados and Red River Credit. Here on segment number 2, we're going to move into some college sports talk. Had a lot of transfer news now that we've gotten into the bowl part of the season. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway is entering the NCAA transfer portal. He announced that on Monday. He was a former top 10 recruit. He was at one point ESPN's number 1 dual threat quarterback in the class of 2024. Now he is leaving Florida. The Gators getting a new head coach, but Lagway wants to try his luck somewhere else. Another breaking news piece of information, speaking on transfers, Oklahoma defensive back Kendall Dolby plans to enter the transfer portal, has not given any hints at where he hopes to go, anything like that. Just announced about 5 hours ago now that he was going to enter the transfer portal. In his time at OU, 68 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. We wish him the best wherever he goes. Sad to see him go. But getting ready for this playoff time. Okay, let's look at some matchups. Ole Miss versus Tulane. The last 14 meetings, all Ole Miss. Ole Miss is on a 14-game win streak, I believe, including some shutout wins, 38-0 back in 1994. The last time they met this season, 45-10, Ole Miss win. Tulane did a great job to get in the playoffs, but I don't know what their luck is going to be against Ole Miss here in the first round. I think this is pretty heavily an Ole Miss win. Georgia State quarterback TJ Finley is going to re-enter the transfer portal. He has been at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, and Tulane. He's getting the 7th year of eligibility and going back in the portal. Now, college eligibility is weird now, man. It's weird now. I don't know how they keep track of it, but he's playing for another year, so good luck. It is announced that, according to Cooper Manning, Arch Manning's dad, Arch will be returning to Texas, first school in the 2026 season. He does not plan to get in the transfer portal, declare for the draft, anything like that. So maybe potentially some good news for Texas fans there. Jury's still out on if it's good news or not. I wouldn't know. I'm an OU fan. I'm looking for some more matchups. Oh, yeah, here's one. OU versus Alabama. You knew it was coming here. Alabama hasn't lost to the same opponent twice in the same season since 1893. That's not 1993, 1893. They lost to Birmingham Athletic Club. I don't even know if that place still exists anymore, but that was the last time Alabama lost to the same team in the same season more than once. Over 130 years the streak has been going, and it comes to head against Oklahoma on the 19th, 2 days from now. My money's obviously on OU. We're healthier. We're playing at home. We beat them once this season already. But it is the playoffs. You can never count Alabama out. Looking at the initial injury report that was posted yesterday at about 7:10 our time central, Oklahoma does not see R. Mason Thomas on the injury list. He is completely healthy, ready to go. Javonte Barnes is probable. Jake McCullough is questionable, and there are 4 players out, including Kendall Dolby, who did announce his transfer away. Alabama sees many more players, mostly linemen, mostly, there's one running back in there. So I'm saying 1, 2, 3 defensive backs, 2 tight ends, 1 linebacker, and pretty much the rest are defensive alignment on Alabama's injury report. Now, obviously, their starting quarterback not listed on the injury report, and that's pretty big for the Crimson Tide. So if you haven't been keeping up with it, there has been a rumor going around about Alabama. We don't know for sure. Obviously, I'll say it just straight out. We don't know anything for sure at all, anything at all. But there might be a chance that Simpson has a back injury. There might be a chance. We don't know for sure. But if Simpson is dealing with a back injury against OU's defense and OU's pass rush, Alabama could be in for a long night. A very, very long night. Obviously, I don't wish for any players to get injured. You never want that for any of these kids in college. But if he is, it does make the job a lot easier for OU. I'm sorry. I said it. We'll see what happens. Again, not listed on the injury report, so assumed healthy and ready to go for kickoff on Friday. While I've got it up in front of me, congratulations to the football academic state championships back on the high school scene. In Class 4A, Elk City Public Schools won the academic state championships. On 3A it was Sulphur, 2A1 it was Washington, 2A2 it was Davis, A1 Fairview, A2 Regent Prep, Class B1 was Laverne, Class B2 was Shattuck, I think I said that right. Class C was Medford, and going up, Class 5A was Coweta, Class 6A2 was Stillwater, and Class 6A1 was Bixby. So they're your academic state champions. Never want to go on and miss something like that. That's always big news. Well, we've got a lot to talk about on the pro scene, and I'm kind of deciding what the best way is to transition into it. I don't quite know yet, but Puka Nacua is back in the news. Obviously, we've had Tua Tagovailoa benched, if you haven't heard that news, and we'll get into all of that on probably our last segment. But I'm just not sure what the best way to transition in from segment to segment is. But I do know this. 1.2 million people saw Texas A&M volleyball hand Nebraska its first loss of the season in the regional finals. The Aggies, congratulations to them, by the way. This was women's obviously women's volleyball. The most watched regional final on record for Texas A&M right there. And you just got to say congratulations. Look, I have seen a lot of college volleyball, now a lot of high school volleyball, but college volleyball at the D1 level it's a different beast. They play so quick. The flow of the action, the pace of play is so quick. Their athleticism, their reaction time is incredible to watch. If you don't watch college volleyball, I would encourage you to tune in. I would, and watch Nebraska, watch the Aggies, watch one of those powerhouse schools, and just see how they play. Because, by the way, that's what one of our very own, Skylar Brady, is going to do here. She's going to play D1 volleyball at K-State. So, again, we encourage you to go watch Kansas State volleyball then and keep up with Brady and see how she's doing. I'm sure she'll have a great career, of course. All right, well, I think that's just about all I want to talk about here. So I'm going through and looking for any more headlines for college, but I'm not seeing any. So I think for now we'll round out the college segment there. I've talked about, the Heisman voting on the Integrity Show a couple days ago. So if you missed that, go tune into that. It was obviously a great show, by the way. We really enjoyed doing that. Fernando Mendoza is the 2025 Heisman winner, first in Indiana history. There was a big deal we had about it. But going into pros now, since we've been talking about transfers, since we've been talking about players leaving, here's some big news. The Miami Dolphins are benching Tua Tagovailoa and going with Quinn Ewers as their new starting QB. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I don't like saying that because I really don't personally have anything against Tua. He drew the short end of the stick in a lot of ways, in my opinion, but they paid him a lot of money. That man has a very large contract. Miami can't get out of it. Miami owes him a lot of money at this current point in time, and I think that's going to be a big thorn in their side for a couple of years to come. I don't see, even with Ewers at the helm, if he is NFL ready, which I think he probably will be at this point. I think he is much more NFL ready. I still don't see things going extremely well for the Miami Dolphins. I would really worry right now if I'm a Dolphins fan. They might see this as an opportunity to make the steps to their big rebuild. Right? I don't know if Ewers is going to be their franchise guy or kind of the bridge quarterback in between this era with McDaniels, Tua, and their next. Which, by the way, I've said this on past shows, but I'm not sure how long Mike McDaniels is going to be head coach of the Miami Dolphins. I would not be surprised if he is let go before too long. But we'll see how Ewers does. But whether or not he is the bridge between this guy and the next, I think he is the better option than Tua. I think Tua is talented. I think he's a great ball player, but the injuries, the inconsistency, it's too much to go against, man. I said last year, I think Tua should retire. I don't think he should risk the hits to the head anymore. I think, honestly, truthfully, I think all the hits he has taken has impacted his game. I think the hits to the head, the hits to the arm, the hits to the side have impacted his game in a substantial sense. He's not the same player we saw in college. Now, there's a lot of college quarterbacks who don't find that level of success in the pros, but for Tua especially, opening up that concussion, that quarterback protection, I guess, discussion, I think he should be done. I think he should just play it safe and not risk anything. Will he? I kind of doubt it, but we'll see what happens with him. You know, I'll be keeping an eye out on it. I've kept an eye on a lot of Miami Dolphins news for some reason. Don't know why, but I have. But, man, it's rough. I'm not a Miami fan, but I can understand, man, that's a rough situation to be in. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do. No one deserves to have that kind of, if it is the end of his career, that end to a career, dealing with those injuries. But that's life. That's life, and that's the business. The Commanders have decided to sit Jaden Daniels for the final 3 games of the season. They're going to start Marcus Mariota. Now, this I also think is the right decision. I think is absolutely the correct decision to sit down Jaden Daniels, your franchise quarterback. And I don't know if they're sitting down any of the wide receivers as well, any of the skill player group. But if they are, that wouldn't surprise me. Washington is out. They have no chance to make it. Why risk your quarterback here if you think you've got a chance next year? Now, some people say you don't play the game to sit. The people you're playing the big money. That's what some of the guys in Integrity said. And I think they're right, but I think they're right in a situation like Dallas. I don't think they're right in a situation like Washington right now. This is absolutely the correct decision for the Washington Commanders. All right, but that kind of wraps up. Yeah, that wraps up the football we'll talk about. Coming back next, I've got a lot of baseball I want to talk about. Oh, but before I forget, Puka Nacua on a live stream Tuesday night said that he thinks some NFL referees make calls just to get shown on TV during games. Listen, I don't like officials. I don't. I'll be the first to admit. But do they do it just to get on TV? I won't say I've never had the thought. But frankly, I don't think they do. But I won't say it's never crossed my mind. Reading the article here from ESPN, NFL players can be subject to fines for publicly criticizing officials, which has happened to many people in the past. Many people. But I wonder if it is finally coming to a head where we're kind of just fed up with it enough. Because it's in the NFL. It's in the NBA. MLB umpires were protected. Angel Hernandez by the union. We knew it was there too. We couldn't get them out. I think it might be starting to pick up some momentum in these other sports here. We might see a change here shortly. What it is, again, I don't know. I've always kind of thought, with how many chances we have to review things, I don't want robot umps or robot officials or anything, but we do have a lot of ways to review plays. I am kind of surprised that some of these officials get off doing this for as long as they do, but that's just personal thoughts. That's nothing concrete. That does it for segment number 3 here at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice. We're live at Raspados. This is presented by Red River Credit, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. Suite A for Red River Credit, just that address here for Raspados Hawaiian. And you're never out of season for some good shaved ice, and you could always use some financial help. So go speak to the friendly people at Red River Credit next door, and once you're done, you can stop by here and pick you up some great, delicious, sweet, Hawaiian Shaved Ice. But we'll be back after this break. This is the Game Plan with Luke Young. Thank you for tuning in. Final 15 minutes after this.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
Learn about nursing and long-term care at CNA Training Academy, 7463 Northwest 23rd Street. Mary Chikwuma offers affordable, useful, and flexible classes every day that will teach you the foundations of medical care. Mary Chikwuma has been teaching her class for 18 years and is eager to teach you. Understand vital signs, train for and be hired as a PCA, and learn about caring for patients in nursing homes, hospitals, assisted living situations, and more at CNA Training Academy. Call 405-315-1357 and ask about financial qualifications. CNA Training Academy is open to all ages and has classes on the weekend and in the evenings as well. Call CNA now, 405-315-1357, and join classes of people learning about nursing and inspiring each other daily. Step up to the next level at Coyote Pond, home with a $20 FFL transfer. Coyote Pond at 5804 Northwest 63rd and MacArthur makes the difference in customer service with a selection of just about everything, with top dollar loans and rock bottom prices. Locally owned and operated, Coyote Pond is the destination headquarters for Bethany, Yukon, and Oklahoma City, and the home of the $20 FFL transfers. Call 405-470-7999 or go to coyotepond.com. That's 405-470-7999 and coyotepond.com. And we welcome you back one final time here on the Game Plan, live from Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice and presented by Red River Credit. Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice sits at 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. Go to facebook.com/Raspados OKC to find their social media accounts. They're also tagged in our Facebook Live. You can call 405-225-1000 to get a hold of the store. They're open until 10 p.m. every day. They open at 11. Thanks so much to Raspados. Come by, get a taste of all the items on their menu. They've got great drinks, great food, sweets, actual meals, I guess you could say. Burgers and tacos and enchiladas I think are up there, and literally everything in between. It's great stuff. Red River Credit sits next door. They can help you out with all your financial needs. So Red River Credit, we've worked with them a little bit as well. Their phone number to call, if you heard on their commercial, 405-440-0582. They have moved down next door in Suite A, so it's the same address. Just tag on that Suite A to the end, 4571 Northwest 23rd. Everything right here in the shopping center, which, what is the name of this shopping center? Is this Windsor Hills? This can't be. No, this is not Windsor Hills. Is it? Is this? I can't remember. No, it is Windsor Hills. I'm right. It's Windsor Hills. I know things. I promise. They both sit in the Windsor Hills Shopping Center, and there's a lot of stuff to do around here. So do stop by and visit. Well, on segment number 3, we got about 10 minutes to the end of our show, so we're going to talk some MLB. Now, baseball is my sport of choice. I can always talk baseball with you, and we've got a lot of news. Jorge Polanco and the Mets have agreed to a 2-year deal. This would broke 4 days ago. The Mets have been making some news. A second one for the Mets. They are bringing in Luke Weaver. Now, that's interesting. Luke Weaver is not a great pitcher, and he is staying in New York, so we'll see him again on the Subway Series versus the New York Yankees. But the Jorge Polanco move, okay, that's a good move for the Mets. The Luke Weaver move, it's a move. Weaver gets 2 years, $22 million. sorry, Yankees fans, but I'm not big on your boy. Looking at it, Kyle Tucker has been rumored. Well, the Mets have been thrown in the rumors for Kyle Tucker along with the Phillies, the Dodgers, but the Blue Jays are one of the names that seems most amped to get Tucker. I've talked a lot about names that have come off of the market, but there are some big names still on. Framber Valdez, the next one. Cody Bellinger, Alex Bregman, Tatsuya Imai, Bo Bichette, Munetaka Murakami. There are a lot of big names still on this list of available free agents, and if you read one of the articles on ESPN talking about it by David Schoenfeld, the Mets are in conversation for all of them. This guy thinks if the Mets are going to be in the conversation for everybody, so we'll see how many moves they end up making. I feel much better about the Mets than I do about the Red Sox making any moves, but story for a different time. Ketel Marte has 5 teams on his no-trade list: Athletics, Cardinals, Giants, Pirates, and the Yankees. Based. True. Don't go to the Yankees. Everybody hates the Yankees. But I don't see the Red Sox on that list. Just saying. So, I'll do this first. Big Christmas. Junkinsi Noel has been designated for assignment by the Cleveland Guardians. Big Christmas kind of made waves, I think it was 2 seasons ago, with his home run hitting power and his awesome nickname, by the way. But now officially DFA'd. He might not be sticking around with Cleveland very long, so if you're a big Christmas fan, don't look now, but your boy might be putting on some new threads. The Tigers and Kenley Jensen are in agreement on a 1-year prove-it deal. Jensen heads to Detroit, joins that elite pitching staff, going to try to help them go further in the playoffs. Adolis Garcia, ex-world champion, past world champion. I'm just going to say world champion. What am I doing? World champion Adolis Garcia is heading to the Philadelphia Phillies. He's also on the move. The Phillies pick up a big bat there. Garcia kind of had a pretty bad fall off, to be completely honest with you, in Texas. His offense was just not at the mark it was in that World Series run. He kind of fell off a cliff. And I hate saying it, but it's just kind of the truth. So he's going to the Phillies, try to revitalize something there. Alex Bregman, one of the names still on the free agency ranks. He's been with Boston. I would very, 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 very much like him to stay with Boston. I think he's the perfect fit there. But Boston will have to shell out $170 million. They will have to commit. They will have to commit, to 5 or 6 years again to make Bregman return. Now, I loved him. The Boston has Story staying. We could have Bregman staying. That's the entire left side of our infield figured out, and we would still really only need an answer at first base. So I would prefer if Boston did this. Fenway Sports Group did just sell ownership in I think it's the Pittsburgh Penguins, if I'm not mistaken. They sold their ownership claim in that. So the hope, maybe the delusional hope from Red Sox fans, is that some of that money is going to be reinvested back in Boston, but it's Fenway Sports Group. I don't trust anything they do, so I'm not holding out hope. But the hope I am holding out for is that Bregman does come back to Boston. I think he liked it there. We loved having him there. I think that's the right fit for Bregman. Some of the other names I mentioned, so Framber Valdez, that's an interesting one. The article I was reading off of earlier sees the Chicago Cubs as the primary team going after Valdez. And Framber Valdez, man, he's been an elite arm in Houston. Look at my hair on the video now after that sneeze. My hair is all kinds of screwed up. That's funny. But I could see that. I could absolutely see that. So they've got Matthew Boyd, Shota Imanaga. They've got some names on there, but they do lack that big number one arm that Framber Valdez could be. If you don't follow Jared Carabas, I think is how you pronounce it, on Twitter, he is a content creator with Underdog Sports. He's the Section 10 pod, works with Nesson, all that good stuff, the New England Sports Network, big Boston Red Sox guy. The Diamondbacks are a surprise team in on the Bregman sweepstakes. And he had been posting on Twitter recently some fairly cryptic, not so cryptic posts. Quote, I don't feel super great about Bregman coming back, but these things are always subject to change. Bogarts was pretty much a done deal to return until the Padres swooped in with a crazy offer. These situations are fluid, but yeah, doesn't sound promising at the moment. He posted that a day ago, and then, what do you know, 2 hours ago, here come the D-backs, potentially making one of those crazy offers, looking to pull Bregman away from Boston. And yeah, this is gaining serious traction. This is not just rumors. This is serious traction from multiple insiders around Major League Baseball. I hope it's not true. I'd be really, really, really upset if Boston lets him go, but it's Fenway Sports Group. We're like the fourth most valuable team in the league, and we pay our players like we're the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't understand it. We pay them like we're the 23rd most valuable team in the league for absolutely no reason at all. I don't get it. But again, I said I was going to hold that off till another show, but here we are talking about all my gripes with the Red Sox. Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens has moved on from the criticism about his efforts. In a quote, everybody has a job to do. Some people's job is to do that, tear down characters, see how many clicks they can get. I'm just here to play football and help the team. It's starting to get kind of old. So we knew this was going to happen. I mean, no one who knows anything about Dallas knows. Let me try that again. Everyone who knows a little bit about Dallas knows that there is a lot of negative press surrounding the Cowboys always. And Pickens has been on a little bit of a two-game slump. It happens. It's football. It's pro sports, right? It's pro athletics. What worries me is that, yeah, he does have a little bit of a history of being a hothead in Pittsburgh, but I think he has found that home in Dallas. I think he is going to be able to get through it. My hopes are still high for George Pickens. If you have him in fantasy, listen, Dallas has a tough matchup against the Chargers, but I still think he's a pretty top dog, pretty top option for a fantasy starter in the playoffs, by the way. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer on Javonte Williams. You see the work ethic, the maturity, the intelligence, and then the talent. He's essentially calling Javonte Williams the perfect all-around cerebral player in the NFL, and I think I would agree with that. Javonte Williams has been kind of a surprise to me. I didn't think at the beginning of the season we were going to have much of a ground game, but I'm very happy we got Javonte Williams this year. I hope also we can keep him around, but same gripe as we have with Boston. I don't know if Jerry Jones and the Dallas front office is ever going to really shell out money, at least not timely money, but we'll see. That takes us right back to the end of this episode, I think. So we're out of time here. We've gone from 4 to 5 p.m. here at Raspados Hawaiian Shaved Ice. Thanks so much to Raspados for letting us come by and do the show. And thanks to Red River Credit for presenting it. Raspados Hawaiian, 4571 Northwest 23rd Street. Red River Credit is next door. Same address, but in Suite A. Raspados Hawaiian is open 11 to 10 every day. You can stop by, get yourself some delicious, refreshing, those are the words used to describe it, menu items, including the drinks, the juices, and the smoothies. And then you can stop by next door and talk to the friendly people at Red River Credit and let them help you figure out your loans, your financial situations, and help you out with the financial side. I know me personally, I always need a lot of help on the financial side. I'm not very good at handling money, but we're getting through it. But one more time, this has been Luke Young on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk live with the game plan. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to us. And thank you to all of our business sponsors who help make these shows possible. We'll see you tomorrow for Bethany High School basketball back at home versus Southwest Covenant. The Patriots coming into town, and we'll see if Bethany can pick up a couple wins versus them at 6:30 and 8 p.m. We'll see you there. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.